Welcome to Obesity, the India Insight series. India at 100 plus kilos. What can you and I do about it? What are we doing in India's fight against obesity? Hence, this podcast series where India's leading experts share what they are seeing, sensing, and solving. From doctors to fitness gurus, nutritionists, dietitians, brand leaders, and behavior specialists. What is their take? I'm your host, Pravin Shekar, founder of Kriya's Obesity Intelligence Unit. Today on the podcast, we have Dr. Sreemathy Venkatraman, a Bangalore based clinical dietitian, wellness nutritionist, and a gut health practitioner with over 25 years of experience. She's the founder of Mita Ahara, Eat to Live, and heads the clinical nutrition unit at Trustwell Hospitals. Her expertise spans gut health, clinical care nutrition, dysphagia, obesity, diabetes, PMOS, and other metabolic disorders. She serves as the National Secretary of IAPN India, a board representative of the European Society of Swallowing Disorders, and is the author of Nutrition and Biochemistry for Nurses and Nutrition for Nurses. She has been recognized as an iconic leader in nutrition and wellness, and she's a full-fledged entrepreneur in her own right. The theme of this episode is the hidden inflammation behind obesity, why weight gain is not just a fat story. Welcome, Dr. Sreemathy.
Thank you, Mr. Shekhar. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Team Kriya. Very happy to be here.
Lovely. For years, doctor, we have treated obesity as a problem of calories and willpower. Are we missing the role of chronic low-grade inflammation?
Definitely. Now we are increasingly recognizing that obesity is not just a calorie or a food choice, but it is a chronic problem that stems from over years of chronic low-grade inflammation that is there, because anyone who is obese or a persons with obesity, we cannot say anymore being judgmental or using terms that affects people's sensitivity. We have to be sensitive because obesity is a disease now. It is no more just because we are having a lifestyle choice or eating wrongly. It's a chronic condition. And it is much more than a calorie problem. It's a chronic low-grade inflammation, and it is now understood to be an important part of the story, which is the inflammation. Why it is fat tissue is not just a storage organ. What happens is it's biologically active. Excess fat, especially around the abdomen, is the one that keeps on releasing inflammatory chemicals. So we have, during COVID, we always think about cytokines. People know about all fat and inflammation and everything like that. So this is, the fat is just not a storage organ. The fat inside that, especially the abdominal fat, keeps on throwing chemicals, which causes this inflammation.
Right. So, doctor, when we hear the term inflammation, we only think about a swelling after an injury or something visible. And what does this chronic inflammation look like inside the body, and especially when there's no visible sign of it?
So that's a great question, Praveen, because chronic inflammation is often very silent. It's not like you see a redness, you see a swelling, you see some pain. This is basically chronic means it's there for a very long time. Okay, so it operates very quietly in the background. Inside the body, there is immune system is always inflamed. So it is throwing all these mildly activated chemicals. But so this ongoing inflammation state is the one, it doesn't happen just overnight.
Right.
We have to remember that body is a wonderful machine. It's a wonderful what do you say, the what nature has created. It's very forgiving, very adaptable to many things. How many we abuse it with so many things, our lifestyle, our things, our habits, and it's very forgiving. It wants to heal, that we don't understand. But ongoing inflammation causes persistent fatigue. It affects our blood vessels, it affects our liver, muscles, pancreas, even brain health, including moods and how we have focus on concentration.
Right. What are the everyday signs the body tells us that it could be living under inflammatory stress? How do I, for example, not self deduce, but at least look at the signs, doctor?
Okay, so persistent fatigue, you'll be very tired all the time in spite of eating very healthy to maybe towards the end of the day. Very lethargic, you don't have, yes, I'm eating, yes, I'm moving, I'm exercising, I know I'm watchful, but it is like you get infections very easily, you fall sick very easily, even somebody coughs in the lift. You tend to catch it first. Why am I getting it? There are so many people in my
Right.
family. Why am I sick very often? Insulin resistance. What is, people use this term very often, but
Yes.
what is actually insulin resistance is we are throwing insulin in our body, secreting insulin, but it's not going through the cell because of the excess fat in the abdomen. So that causes insulin resistance to not go through the fat cells. And because of that, we have hormonal disturbances. Adolescent or young women stop having regular periods. There is hormonal imbalance, facial hair for them.
Right.
So it is a lot of symptoms. The body is talking to you. Chronic headache on and off, falling sick very easily.
Right.
Now, having gut health is very important. So, gut health is the one, that is why we gave so much importance in Indian culture, as why we need our digestion to be very good. So, don't take your constipation, your acidity, your one sided headaches just very
Right.
silently, just put a painkiller and just ignore it. So, these are some of the signs the body is talking to you saying, I'm not all right.
Brilliant. Now, when does the trigger happen? You said it's chronic. There's body trying to tell us we don't know or we ignore, but at some point it kind of shoots up. This inflammation reaches an inflection point. When does that happen? How does that happen at that point?
So, what happens is now in the GLP-1 era, there
Right.
is one thing that is there with obesity or persons with obesity or the obesity as a disease is food noise. Even if we don't want to eat unhealthy, we are there. There is a pop-up with a cling saying that, oh, do you want your pav bhaji? Have you had your drink today? Oh my God, my own spouse don't check on me. Have you had your food? But then this all the time the food noise what you get everywhere is the term that is being used nationally, internationally. Why is it so much food noise that is there around us? Even like if you're living in an apartment, there are people like now that food entrepreneurs inside the apartment trying to give food. They'll say today is that why don't you order 24 hours before? There is rasgulla, there is samosa, there is jalebi, there is this, or it would be an online platform giving like your what do you say, your cab which says that, okay, is it snack time? Have you had your snack now? Is it lunch? I am trying to fast here. I'm on an intermittent fasting. And oh my God, just think, Mr. Praveen, I say Rasagulla. Oh my
Ah,
God. Or I say McD's French fries. The
yes.
texture, the aroma, the way it is. Oh my God, let me just get back. I'm going to my
I'll quickly
on my
order.
way
I
back, I'm just going to have French fries today. Or
Yes.
I'm so good from morning, and then at 5 o'clock I see some ad with a nice young actress saying I don't eat sugar, I take something else. And I'm very watchful from morning to evening. And at 5 o'clock I'm in the charts. So you have to listen to your body, try to give a
Yes.
balanced diet, not go for a fat thing. Otherwise, you're going to be fighting with yourself and not feeling good saying that. It's not a case of willpower. It's not.
Right.
Yes, you have willpower. It's too much food noise out there and a
Right.
chronic, the poor dietary habits for a long time, energy drinks, inadequate sleep. Yes, FIFA. Even I was up seeing a match yesterday. I wanted to
Right.
see it. I love football. I love tennis, of course, IPL. So, but we should know when, yes, we need to indulge in sports, but not all the time, where every weekend is a binge. That
Right.
cannot happen. Then you're going to feel groggy. So, inadequate sleep, chronic stress, excessive fat,
Yes.
genetic predisposition. Let's not forget that, but let's not blame our parents alone. It's also a step by
Absolutely,
step
Doctor.
of many things. So, this is how it is. It is talking to you, but you're not listening.
What a brilliant. It's the first time I'm hearing it, but it's so true. Food noise. But along with this noise, and this is a question, we have all these suddenly born again influencers and dietitians and advisors without the fundamental background or the studies that are required. But that's adding to the noise, and there is also a false sense that creeps in that, hey, I'm following this person's advice or diet, and therefore I should be all okay. What are your views on that, doctor?
So, what happens is because of the chronic inflammation in the body, because of persons with obesity have different, their signals of hunger are disrupted. So, what happens is it interferes with our hormones, it makes the brain less responsive to hunger signals, and we have too much food noise contributing to it. You have increasing cravings. I know of people like the whole day they have been very busy, they are doing intermittent, but their way of relaxing, no judgmental here. Even I would love after a 12-hour work day, just put my feet up, looking at a comedy or scrolling through for about 20 minutes with a nice beverage or a food or something warm or something sweet or crunchy, whatever it is. So what happens is we are under stress, but we don't know how to relax the right way. So let me just tell you an example. Suppose I'm looking at a milkshake, which is, oh, I don't drink aerated drinks. I'm looking at a carton of milkshake. It
Right.
has 33 grams of sugar. I can as well eat six idlis. It gives me better. So when I'm trying
Yes.
to have a nice milkshake or buy it for my child, or I'm very thirsty, I love a cool milkshake. Let me just go take a vanilla milkshake or a chocolate milkshake, whatever it is, something chill and nice in this so much of heat. I try to drink it. Wow, I just had a milkshake today. I had salad in the morning. I didn't. Oh my God, you had 33 grams of sugar. One teaspoon is 5 grams. You had 6 teaspoon plus of sugar. I can as well eat six idlis and be very happy and think that, oh my God, I didn't eat a carb meal. I don't eat dosa. I don't eat idli. I don't eat rice. I love tradition.
Yeah.
That is what you are aligned with. I'm
Yes.
wherever, whichever state you are from, wonderful cuisine is available. So try to eat traditionally, watch out your portions. That is why there is disruption of hunger signal, your cravings is there. If there is increased craving, there is less response to insulin, what you're secreting. So this is why there is excess abdominal fat. It lowers your energy, makes the weight management very difficult.
Ah, absolutely. But continuing in the same vein, doctor, is there something called an anti-inflammatory diet? Of course, I don't know, I can't see, I don't want to do the testing, but is that a thing, the anti-inflammatory diet?
Okay, so yes, I know due to popular noise out there, people think that there is no one single diet. Otherwise, I would be one of the richest person saying that,
Yes.
okay, no, it is a blend of many things. So let
Yes.
me tell you an example. There are maybe two boys in the same family as brothers or two girls as sisters.
Right.
One can be very lean who cannot put on weight.
Hmm.
There will be another one who will say, ma'am, look at my sister. She eats so much, everything and anything under the sun. She never puts on weight. I just look at a ghee, I look at a French fry, and oh my God, my 1 kilo just goes up. How
Yes.
come we are just sisters, 2 years difference? You are born with a different gut microbiome. So it's not a one size fits all approach. So when you say anti-inflammatory diet, a low carb diet, a paleo, a keto, first I have to understand as a clinical dietitian, what are the different things that's working in your body? Why are you not able to, what is the weight management problem? What are the pain points? What is your stress level? Maybe you had a different personality. Maybe you have emotional eating, binge eating. Try to understand your pain points. Try to understand your emotional health, your work stress, your routine. What I give to a person at home or a senior or a working professional or a person working from home, everything, everyone is important. Everyone is busy. I have to understand their work routine, their personal choices. Food is very, very personal. So all that is why I'm saying anti-inflammatory diet works not just for weight loss. Yeah, I have to understand the whole thing. What is your, let me tell you, it's not just body weight anymore. What has changed?
Right.
It's not body weight anymore. It's not just BMI. Internationally, it's been told that it's not just BMI anymore.
Yeah.
It is the waist to hip ratio. So the
Oh,
waist, which is basically from the navel 2 inches above, you put an inch tape and see, and in the hips. So the waist and the hip ratio for a man and for a woman, there are certain normal formulas, normal numbers, and that tells you, are you at high risk for heart disease? Are you at high risk for stroke? Are you at high risk for hypertension, type 2 DM? So it's so if suppose somebody comes to me for a weight loss regimen, to me, I will not look only at their height, weight, and BMI. Yes, I will track that also. I will ask them to do a body composition. Now, with GLP-1 in the market, everyone has it is flooded with body composition machine. It just comes to your, it's available from 1600 to 7500. Okay, so many body composition machines are out there. You can just stand every week and look at how much muscle I have, how much fat free mass I have, how much fat I have, where I have it. As a woman, I tend to put on more in the hips and the stomach and the thighs and the upper arms. As a man, I would put on more in the abdomen as a belly fat or a beer belly or something like that. Women tend to put more on the thighs and the hips along with the belly. A menopausal women will have a different. So all this, so the anti-inflammatory diet is not just the only one. I have to look at you as a wholesome being, whether you have any other condition. What life stage are you in? Are you looking at fertility? Are you looking at regular periods? Are
right.
you looking at what do you say, not just weight loss? I want good health. I want
Yes.
preventive. I don't want to be the chronic diabetic or a heart disease, which my paternal side or maternal side have. I want to be in a preventive space before I develop something. All this, and not just two words, anti-inflammatory or a keto or a paleo.
Beautiful, brilliantly put. And this is a message to all the listeners that I have imbibed from the doctor and other conversations is everything is personal, everything is one-on-one. So if somebody comes and gives you generic yarn and advice that follow this diet or something else, kindly look away from that and go back to your practitioner, to your advisor to go ahead and look at it. But because you spoke about it, the next question is, what role does muscle protein and recovery play in reducing this metabolic risk? It is a balance, of course, but some say eat more protein, which is the fat these
Yes,
days, or build more muscle. What's your take?
yeah. So there is, we have to understand our population like Indian phenotypes. We are called as Indian phenotypes in the South Asian. Why? Because we tend to put on fat more as South Asians, as Indians, we put on fat more compared to muscle from young age compared to the West. So our body makeup, our composition is we tend to put on more fat compared to muscle. So have a balanced diet from young age. Do not fall for any fat diet, and do not be judgmental for a kid, for a growing teenager, or yourself. Be kind to yourself. So have a balanced diet. People think that, one example what I want to give you is, people focus more on protein and they say, I have a no carb diet. No, you
Right.
cannot have a no carb diet, because the first function of the uh, protein is to spare. So you have to have carbs. First 101 of nutrition is, when you have carbs, you spare the protein to do its function, which is build muscle. When I don't have carb, the brain, which is wants, the only fuel for the brain is glucose. Whatever you eat has to be burnt to make glucose, the
Right.
way you metabolize. And so if you're not taking a carb, the protein is going to be burnt.
Yes.
Unfortunately, first fat doesn't burn, protein is burnt in the body. And then that is taken as for a glucose and for the different
Yes.
metabolic functions of the body, especially the brain. So please have a balanced diet. It should have macronutrients, the carb, the protein, and the fat, and all the micronutrients. Yes, give importance to protein. But if you look at dietary guidelines for Indians, which was released almost 1 to 2 years ago by the NIN and the ICMR, it says very clearly 45 to 50 grams is enough for an Indian adult. So don't overly focus on, yes, as I said, what lifestyle you want to build up muscle, you have certain conditions you want to prevent it. Yes, you can have increased protein, but the right amount. Don't go for too much of it. Try to get it from both food as well as supplements if necessary.
Right.
Consult a qualified professional. Yes, protein. So we have to understand our genetic makeup as Indians. We are Indian phenotypes. We don't put on muscle easily. Give carbs and also have adequate or more protein based on what you are, your health goals are, and then your activity. Give importance to protein as well as good fats because it's good for the skin, the hair, everything. You're a wholesome person where macro, micro,
Yes.
everything is needed.
So, doctor, what is the one practical nutrition shift Indian families can do today to reduce inflammatory load without falling for the gimmicks? What is the practical thing that we could look at implementing today?
So people are very busy with their work, and the first thing that is cut out is the vegetable. People think that I have 4 slices of cucumber on my plate and two round carrots that is cut, maybe a tomato, because some people don't like that soggy thing over there. But there is a, what do you say, a permanent presence, omnia, like a thing, presence of a thing. Always there is a few slices of cucumber and a carrot, and
Yes.
people think, oh my God, am I eating healthy? I'm very happy. I'm eating very
Ah,
healthy today. No, it's not. You have to
yes.
have your palya, your poriyal, your sabzi, your gravy, your avial, your things. So this is how our traditional diet has been. Yes, there is not much time for people to have their vegetables, but definitely I think it is always like carbs and carbs and nothing.
Yes.
So it's not how our ancestors ate. There was always a vegetable in the plate. So even if you see, Ayurveda says 1/3 of your plate should be liquid. So it can be a patla dal, it can be an avial, it can be a sambar, it can be a gravy, it can be a tomato sar or salmon. So many, we are wonderful.
Right.
Our diversity is our strength. Every 100 mile we have a different cuisine.
Yes.
We love it. Why don't we love our food? We are foodies.
Absolutely.
No thing to say about it. Wonderful Indian cuisine is the best, the healing. And but we have walked far away. And what happened is we have a rice bath or a puliyodare or a tomato bath or something easy. Chitrana ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we say puliyodare in the sadam,
Yes.
this sadam or a pulao just ಆ ತರ. So when there is the vegetable stick, so they get that 3-4 slices. So please have not just a carb. We are cereal eaters. Our country, west, east, north, south, we are cereal eaters, majority. But give importance to protein, give importance to liquid there, rasam, dal, whatever, and definitely have vegetables. So if I want someone to this thing is, I want them to have a balanced plate. Look at your traditional eating, wherever you are from. There are wonderful. There is kosambri. There is a what pachadi. There is a pulisu. There is a every. We learn so much from my clients because they're all over India and they're wonderful. And of course, everyone loves variety. We take south, north. We love a Thai cuisine, a Thai curry. We love a momos. We love something. Yes, definitely you should take it. But see, look at the health goals. So one thing, if I want to them to change is look
Hmm.
at meal prep. Yes, you're busy. You don't have time. Look at meal prep, which can be whipped up very easily. And one more thing is we have very easy, like an idli dosa 3 times a day, all the time. Yes, it is easy, but where is the vegetable? Where is the fruits? So please have a balanced diet. Look at your traditional cuisine and go to that.
Brilliant. Brilliant. If India continues on its current path today, with half of India approximately being young, what will obesity mean for the next generation's health, mental health, quality of life, and the healthcare burden for the self, family, and rest of the country over the next decade, Doctor?
It looks very dismal, sorry to say. So what is happening is from young age, nowadays, as Indian Association of Pediatrics and many pediatricians abroad also say, do not give a salt and a sugar till at least 1 year of age. No salt, no sugar is given to any babies from weaning food. Of course, breast milk is the best for the baby up to 1 years of age. When you start weaning food after 6 months, do not give extra salt, do not give extra sugar. So do not train the brain by giving it too much sugar and salt. So let me tell you an example. Suppose I'm not having sugar for about 2 weeks, and then I take a watermelon or a muskmelon. It tastes so wonderfully sweet. But if I'm going to take every day, I'm finishing a meal with a sweet, with something else, because I have a sweet tooth. There's nothing wrong in it. But instead, you take a dates, you take something, a dry fruit, a figs, or something that is not too sugary, because it's going to increase your
Yeah.
fat in the body deposit. So what happens is, then it is, so the way you train your kids, the way you not just willpower alone, but try to have mindful eating. Yes, you can eat once a week outside. Yes, you love your Friday night movies with your spouse, with your family night, your football night, your IPL night, but watch what you're eating. You are the role model for your kids. If you're going to munch on chips and an aerated drink, that is what is going to develop as a habit for them. So some people come very badly as childhood obesity is too much on the rise. We have double burden of nutrition in our country. One is malnutrition, where it is less stunting and not good growth for the children and things which is sad. The other one is obesity and inflammation and other things. So what you are, so some people come, ma'am, he's just eating too much of junk. I'm always, there is Coke in my fridge, or an aerated drink, sorry to tell a brand name, some aerated drink is there, or my son or daughter studying for a board exam, they have certain energy drinks every day. It is very high in caffeine, it's very high in this one, you don't get sleep. So it looks dismal. So please try to be a role model for your children, or try to bring healthy food into the family. Definitely they will, your values, what you are, they are imbibing through you. They will also imbibe the good food habits.
Yes.
Involve them in your, so try to have, no one is a saint. I love vanilla ice cream, I love mangoes, I love,
Yes.
it is just a balance, amita
Right.
ahar,
Beautiful.
everything in moderation. That's it. So
Excellent.
look at your food habits, try movement as a family, try to do it so that you don't lose muscle. We tend to lose muscle, sarcopenia, we say, as we age.
Right.
Already the muscle stores is very low as Indian phenotypes. We tend to lose muscle. Everything, including swallowing, 51 muscles are involved.
Oh,
51 muscles
wow.
just to drink water. We take everything for granted. Our body is so forgiving. It's such a wonderful machine that nature has created. So let's try to be kind to ourselves. Emotional eating is there. There is a lot of trauma. There's a lot of stress. Even for kids, they go for 2 coaching classes, they go for exams, board exams, stress in whatever profession you work, the commute, the pollution, the
Mm.
food as such, which is not maybe more clean, nutritionally not very good a decade ago because of the soil erosion. So everything is there. But I can't just be complaining about the system, right? I have to take care of
Yeah.
myself first and
Oh,
see what best I can do to my body and my mind.
absolutely. So I've been taking notes all through. Obesity is a disease. Immune systems are inflamed. Your body is adaptive, mostly forgiving. The body wants to heal, so you've got to listen to the body. Be completely aware of food noise and the various pings that try to take you or get you to stray off the selected path. Therefore, it's not just a case of willpower. Hunger signals are disrupted, the brain is less responsive, and therefore there is increased cravings. Can we relax the right way? Can we align with tradition? Can we watch out for portions and the new measurement waist to hip ratio? Can we go ahead and figure out what it is? Understand the Indian phenotypes. There is no one size fits all for everybody. Increase the number of vegetables in your plate or the proportion, have a balanced meal prep, and there is a dismal forecast that we are all aware of. Can we as a family unit take charge, be our own role model, and include movement as a family? So those are all the nuggets that we have got from you. Thank you very much, Dr. Sreemathy. It's been a pleasure having you on the podcast.
Thank you, Praveen and Kriya team. Very nice. It was so wonderful talking to you. Thanks for having.
Thank you.